Hello, and welcome to Connect, the weekly podcast of the California MBA, featuring one-on-one interviews with movers and shakers in the mortgage industry. I'm Susan Milazzo, CEO of the California MBA, and very happy that you could join us today. Before I welcome today's guests, I'd like to thank our 2025 President's Council sponsors. And these are companies that provide a tremendous amount of financial support to the California MBA, in large part so that we can continue to be the strong advocates for the real estate finance industry before the California State Legislature and our regulators. So please join me in thanking our 2025 President's Council sponsors, and those companies are AmeriHome, Consolidated Analytics, Funding Shield, Guild Mortgage, Rocket Mortgage, Wiener Brodsky Kiter, and Western Alliance Bank. Thank you all so much for your support this year. We really appreciate it. With that, I'd like to welcome today's guest and welcoming Marcus Carter, who is president of La Mesa Fund Control and Escrow. Marcus, welcome.
Thanks for having me, Susan. Appreciate it.
Happy to have you here today. I always like to get started with hearing about people's journey into the mortgage industry. I notice the leaders in your company have a combined 130 years of experience, so I think a little bit of time in the mortgage industry. So I'd love to kind of hear about your journey into the mortgage industry.
Yeah, sure. So we're, I'll tell you a little bit about my journey. I started in the mortgage industry in 95, actually 94. 93 and 94. I actually did an internship when I was going to college down here in San Diego.
Okay.
With Marianne McGarry at Guild Mortgage.
Guild Mortgage,
yeah.
Wonderful. Yeah. I love it.
So Marianne was, guys, this is going back a while. Marianne, her husband is Kevin McGarry, and Kevin was my football coach at University of San Diego. So Kevin was gracious enough to introduce me to Marianne, and she gave me an internship at Guild, and I worked a couple summers there in the back office. Didn't know what I was doing, but I think I was auditing FHA files coming in from so yeah, so a lot of fun. But that's really where it started, and then I graduated with a finance degree and worked in lending for up in Orange County for quite some time. And then 99, I came back down to San Diego and opened a small boutique lending business. And really moved on to fund control and a service provider for the lending industry. So my background was lending and did quite a bit of construction lending. Very familiar with construction lending. Kind of developed an expertise there. Cut my teeth in a lot of different types of construction lending, and had an opportunity to take over a local fund control company here in San Diego, La Mesa Lumber Fund Control, in 2007. They were shutting down their fund control business. I was a client of theirs, and I had built a really good rapport with the manager, Grace Wasson, who's now my business partner. And so I approached her about a week after she told me they were going to shut their doors, and I said, Grace, let's start a fund control business. And so we did. We got licensed. Back then it was by the Department of Corporations. Now it's DFPI. And so since 2007, we've been running La Mesa Fund Control and Escrow. And what we really do, Susan, is we're a service provider for construction lenders nationwide. So we provide risk mitigation services for construction lenders of all different shapes and sizes. You name it, institutional lenders, banks, finance companies, private money lenders. We are the service provider that provides kind of a number of different services. We do a pre-construction, kind of on the front end as an underwriting tool, if you will. We provide a pre-construction review or a feasibility or a budget analysis report kind of during the underwriting process of a construction loan to help a lender make a determination whether or not that budget is sufficient or what holes may be in that project. There's going to be a potential problem. From there, we'll provide full funds control services where we will actually provide full back office support for managing that draw process once they've funded that construction loan, where we will collect all the lien waivers, collect all the invoices, manage that intake, balance the budget, do a site inspection, and then provide the lender with a recommendation report based on what we're seeing on each draw request. So yeah, we do that nationwide, and been doing it since '07, and it's been a fun journey. It's really
Been
fun.
a long, interesting time to be in the market since
Yeah.
the crash in '07 till now. I've been in this role that long as well, a little bit longer than that actually.
Yeah.
But that was one of the things that I noticed about your company is that you have a wide range of services. You do fund control, loss mitigate, or mitigation,
Yeah.
escrow. Do you feel that having the diversity of all those services under one roof has really allowed your company to grow because of all of the things that you offer?
Yeah, it has. I mean, the bulk of our services are really tailored around risk mitigation in the construction space. The addition of being able to do traditional escrows is great, and we have some lenders that lean on us for that. But the growth has really been centered around risk mitigation and providing tools in the construction lending space to help lenders to be their back office and really provide those tools to help them grow their platforms and be a great service partner. So yeah,
Excellent.
yeah.
Excellent.
So,
I notice in your company, your philosophy is stability, strength, trust, growth, and teamwork.
yeah.
Kind of what drew you to put those particular that word set together for your core values?
Well, I think that, when a lender is going to trust us to manage that disbursement process, they certainly have to trust us. And if you've ever been involved in construction lending, it takes a lot of teamwork. And you got to rely upon the lender and the contractor and the owner. And we're really the neutral third party that's helping put it all together to manage that budget, to do the site inspections, being the expert for the lender and providing that visibility and that transparency. So, we work hand in glove with the lenders that we do business with, and we really are sort of you know a reflection of their company, and we're really making sure that client of theirs is taken care of. You can do a great job funding a loan, and you can do a great job offering the best terms and conditions, but on a construction loan, if you don't execute on the back end, you can really blow a relationship with a client. So that service provider and what we do, it's important. It's important to lenders. So
Yeah, you're like an extension of the company,
yeah.
essentially. You're a partner, a vendor, but really you're just an extension of that lender at that point.
I'm going to tell you, we probably deal with the client and the contractor more than they do, because we're involved in it for the next 6,
Yeah,
12, 18, 24 months, depending on the length of the project. We get to know these guys really well when they start submitting draws to us. So
yeah,
yeah.
I can imagine. So, you know, one of the things I noticed either just talking with my lenders or solution providers or dealing with the legislative issues that we follow with the California MBA, AI is just in every aspect of what we do in the mortgage industry. And I would be interested to learn if you're incorporating AI into any of the services at La Mesa.
Yeah, that's a great question. So there has been a tremendous amount of movement when it comes to AI entering specifically the document evaluations. And that's a key component. And one, it's a fraud prevention tool. So we have something that's built into the back end model of our system to make sure that it catches duplication of invoices. So to make sure that we don't have a contractor who's submitting an invoice one time and then 6 months later submitting the same invoice again.
Mm,
So it's a fraud prevention device, and we're also seeing it in the inspection space, where AI is we're starting to see some movements in the inspections in general, withdraw inspections. So there's some technology coming out that's pretty interesting. It's not launched yet, it's not happening yet, but it's interesting to see where it's going. So
yeah, it's just in every aspect. I feel like more and more every time I have a conversation with somebody, there's new ways that we're incorporating it. And to your point, I mean, I think it's making, there's definitely ways that it's just making the industry and the process more efficient.
Yeah.
You know, helping companies be successful. So so good for you for being in that wave of innovation that the rest of the industry is embracing as well. You know, Marcus LaMesa is a new member of the California MBA, and you've already can become very active with us. So I'm very, very grateful for your support. Thank you so much. I'd love for you to share with our listeners why you chose to support our organization.
So lead counsel, and I'm forgetting his last name, Michael.
Michael Pfeiffer.
Yes. Okay. So we were. I was at a CMA conference. We've been members of CMA for 10 or 12 years, 13 years. And Michael was at the CMA conference, and we got to talking and sort of hit it off. And he said, "Marcus, why are you not a member of CMBA?" And I was like, "Well, I don't know. That's a great question." So, so we were chatting about it, and I think that ultimately, after hearing some of the benefits and hearing what you guys are doing and what's happening and the members, I just think it's going to be a great space for us, and I think we can add a lot of value to, we really view ourselves as promoters of best practices when it comes to construction lending and construction risk mitigation, and so yes, we're a service provider. Yes, we want clients to do business with us, but we're also just advocates of making sure that people are doing it and lenders are doing it the right way. And
Right.
so, we're on a lot of panels, we're on a lot of discussion boards, and you'd really be surprised, Susan. There's a lot of lenders that don't understand just the basics and best practices when it comes to dispersing funds, and they get themselves into trouble, and they end up with projects that have difficulty and are challenged. We see it because they come to us after something's already gone wrong, and we sort of have to help them mop up the mess. But prefer it if they would use our services or use somebody that can help them do it the right way. So, yeah.
Right. Well, again, thank you so much for your support through membership. And Marcus, thank you for being a guest on Connect. It's been great.
Oh, awesome. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
And thanks to you for joining us today. To follow any of our past episodes, you can follow us on our YouTube channel. We're also available on SoundCloud, Apple Podcast, and Spotify. That's it for this week, and we'll see you next time on Connect.